Hi, my name's Stan Bicknell. Welcome to the Drum Cave. You're here because you want 7 exercises to elevate your playing, and I'm here because I'm going to teach them to you. Let's not waste any more of your time. Let's get straight into it. So look, everything at the end of the day is just a combination of ones and twos, and it's sort of how we orchestrate them. So some of these you will know, some of them you won't, because a couple of them I actually kind of came up with. I can't really find their source, but anyway, the point is that these are just some of my favorite stickings that I like to use around the kit. Alrighty, so what are we going to need for this? Well, first and foremost, you're going to need a practice pad. This is essential. I do not want you to do these exercises on the kit. It's all about the practice pad here because then we can focus on the movements and the mechanics and really overemphasize the goal with them, okay? You've got to compartmentalize mechanical work from what you do on the kit, first and foremost. I've always said, learn to love the practice pad and you've taken your progress into your own hands. Being a drummer is really, really hard work for all the people that are around you. So learn to love the pad, okay? This is essential. So the next thing you're going to need is drumsticks. And I know, that one should speak for itself. But what I mean specifically is heavier drumsticks. So for probably 23, 24 years now, I've done all my pad work with heavier sticks. What it's given me is more power, control, definition, articulation, because it's essentially weight training for the hands. Now, in my late teens, I was inspired by all the drumline drummers, so I just looked at what they were using, and I found the thickest sticks I could possibly find, which are called Corpse Masters, and I did all my pad work on these for years. These days, I use the Vincent Thomas Hark signature sticks just because they're a really great size. They're kind of like an in-between. And if you're one of those people that are worried about jumping between different stick sizes because of your regular stick size, I've got an easy fix. Just recalibrate back on your sticks for the last minute or two of your pad work, and then you'll have no problems at all. For such a simple thing to change in your practice, it can have a massive impact on your playing, okay? So use heavier sticks. Then the next thing you're going to need is a kick pad, because as these exercises progress, I'm going to incorporate some single kick for you too. And then the last thing you're going to need is world-class double stroke roll. Every exercise that I'm about to show you has doubles in it. Most of the exercises we do on the drums have double stroke in it. So if your doubles aren't dialed in, they're definitely holding you back. This is essential. Enough of all that, let's just get into it. So exercise number 1 is what I call an inverted 5-stroke roll. So the way that we're going to do it is we're going to go right, left, left, right, right, or left, right, right, left, left. Now the point with this exercise is to separate those dynamics as far as you possibly can. Other way. Dynamic separation is key. It's what I would say separates the good from the great players, okay? So whenever you're working on these exercises, overemphasize the dynamic goal. Now, the way that we can move this exercise forward is focus on it solely on one side specifically first. So really drilling it in. And then the other way. And then ultimately the idea is that you should join them together, okay? So we're going to go right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, left. Just a really, really good exercise to help balance out both sides. So every exercise that I work on, I always make sure that I can go the other way with it. Even if it is an exercise that only goes one way, I'll always find a way to bring it back the other way as well, because for me, it's all about balance. So yeah, take that exercise, work on it independently first, create the dynamic separation, and then join it together. Really work on those dynamics. That was number 1. Exercise number 2 is a simple embellishment to my least favorite rudiment, the paradiddle. Now, I'm not going to get into it with you here as to why I don't really like the paradiddle, but with this adjustment, I do like it and I use it quite often, so I'm going to share it with you now. And all it is this. Instead of doing the traditional paradiddle where we accent just the first stroke, all I do, and I use it all the time, especially on the toms, is I accent both singles. And that's it. Give it a go. All right, so exercise number 3 is a very simple exercise in theory, but it's a conceptual exercise that you can take quite far. And I know you've done it 1,000 times already, but I'm going to try and show you a new way to think about it. So all it is an accented single followed by a diddle with the other hand. So you can do it both hand lead. So let's just focus on right hand lead first. And I'm going to do them individual and then we'll join them together. So really separating those dynamics. Left hand lead. Remember, dynamics intentional, okay? Separate them as far as you can. Now let's join them together for a string of 4. Now we've got 2 places that we can go here. One is that we can treat these right hand, left hand lead variations as a single exercise. And the way to do that is, because like I say, I like to alternate everything. If I'm going one way with something, I will find a way to go back the other way. So the first way to do it is do 4 cycles right hand lead followed by 3 cycles left hand lead, but they start with the double on the right. So what I mean is this: if we're going to do 4 cycles left hand lead, right, then we're going to go, and then that resets it. So you start with the double on the right hand when we switch, and what that does is it puts you on the swing feel, and then you end it with the single of the left to lead back into the single from the right. So it sounds like this. It's just a cool exercise. So that is exercise number 1 that you can do with this with your hands. Exercise number 2, conceptually speaking, is lengthening out the numbers of the groupings that we're doing with each hand. So what I mean by that is this: 1 1 1 1 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So all I'm doing is I'm adding in singles 1 2 3 4, and then I add in the double to frame that grouping. Okay, so I'm going to do it with left hand lead now. 1 1 1 1 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. And what we're doing is we're working on that dynamic separation, but we're getting into this way of thinking about patterns as almost like a DJ with a start and stop effect on the button. It's just a really, really cool way to think about things. So give that a go as well. Exercise number 4, we're halfway. And this is the first exercise that I consider one of my exercises. Now look, I'm not trying to say that I'm the only person that's come up with this. Of course not. Everything we do is just a combination of 1s and 2s. And I know that 1,000 other drummers have probably stumbled across this as well. I just haven't seen it anywhere. I haven't seen it in print. And for me, it just came about as it was a solution to a problem that I had. And the problem that I had is that I don't like the bluster. So if you haven't heard of the bluster, go check it out. But it's a fusion lick and it's gross. Ugh, don't want a bar of it. But I did want to kind of write something that evoked a similar thing, but sounded better and felt more natural to play. And this is what I came up with, and I call it the poor man's bluster. And it's a 5-note lick. All the singles are accented, and it has a double halfway through, and it goes like this. So right, left, double, left. And once again, all singles are accented. So the idea is that once you get it going, you string it together. Now the secret to this exercise is 2-part. One is put the kick with the right hand, the very first right hand. So I'm going to bring up my multicam here for you. The magic of television. What we're going to do is put the right foot with right hand and lock them together. Right foot. We're going to put the right foot with the right hand and lock it together for that first stroke. And you can imagine that going on a crash or a ride or a stack, that first hit. Keep all of those accents going. That's what makes it sound really interesting. Now, the next thing you can do is similar to the previous exercise, is set up this sort of like DJ stop-start thing, this kind of like loop button trigger thing that I like to do with this as well. And it sounds like this. And the way we do it is just by adding singles in and keep those rights going with the right hand and right feet together, okay? So it sounds like this. It's just a really cool exercise. Give that one a go. All right, so because we just came off the heels of the claim that I came up with, that last sticking that I showed you, I'm going to do it again. I'm now going to show you for exercise 5 another pattern that I claim I came up with. The arrogance of this guy. I know, but the reason is because I haven't seen it anywhere. So this exercise also came about as a solution to a problem, and that problem was simply I wanted another pattern that utilized singles and doubles that alternated, that didn't just go one way. And this is what I came up with. And like I say, I just haven't seen it anywhere. I know other people would have done it, but I'm just telling you what I know. I haven't seen it anywhere. It's a 7-note lick, and it's a combination of